Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're setting our sights on the Royal Air Force Police.
The RAFP.
You've shared a fascinating collection of sources with us. Looks like everything from official histories to um, details of their current structure and ops.
Pretty comprehensive stuff, yeah.
So our goal is to really understand what makes the RAFP such a distinct and, well, crucial component of the UK's defense forces.
Absolutely. And it's not just about standard policing duties within a military setting. The material really reveals a deeply rooted history,
Right.
a remarkably diverse set of responsibilities, and a very clear sense of identity, too.
And speaking of identity, let's maybe start with a quick, memorable detail. The RAFP are often called snowdrops.
Ah, yes, the snowdrops.
That nickname comes from those striking white tops on the caps, worn by their non-commissioned officers and warrant officers, since 1945, apparently.
It's a great visual hook, isn't it? Instantly recognizable.
It really is.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did this organization with such a, distinctive flair get started?
Well, what's fascinating here, and the sources really highlight this, is that the RAFP's origins are completely intertwined with the birth of the Royal Air Force itself.
Oh, really? The very beginning.
The very beginning. They were formed on April 1st, 1918. That's the exact same day the RAF came into being from the merger of the Royal Flying Corps and the Royal Naval Air Service.
Wow.
So it immediately tells you how fundamental they were right from the get-go.
That's the powerful connection.
Yeah.
And looking at their growth during World War II, the sheer scale is eye-opening.
It really is.
They expanded to, what, 500 officers and around 20,000 non-commissioned officers?
20,000, yeah. That kind of rapid growth must have had a significant impact on how they operated their capabilities, even back then.
Must have.
It certainly seems like it. That wartime expansion probably laid the groundwork for, their logistics, the diverse training they still maintain today.
I like that.
Then, fast forward a bit. January 1947. We see a formal recognition of their specific expertise. The RAF Provost Branch officially became a specialist branch within the RAF.
Oh, okay.
This really solidified their position, as a body with unique skills and responsibilities.
And they soon got their own symbols to go with that status, too.
Exactly. In December 1950, King George VI approved their badge and that commanding motto, Fiat Justitia.
Which is Latin for let justice be done.
Precisely. It's a very clear statement of their core principle.
Yeah, it really encapsulates that commitment, doesn't it? Upholding justice within that specific military context.
It does. And the reach, well, it became pretty expensive. By 2009, the sources say the RAFP had served in 66 countries globally.
66 countries. That gives you a real sense of their operational footprint, the varied environments they've been deployed in.
Definitely.
Now, let's circle back to that visual identity. The snowdrop caps are just one part of it, right? What other uniform details make them stand out?
Right. The uniform and insignia give clear visual cues. So, as we said, the white-topped caps for non-commissioned and warrant officers since 45.
The snowdrops.
The snowdrops. They also have distinctive black and red flashes worn just below their rank slides.
Okay.
Commissioned officers, they wear the standard RAF peaked cap, but they also incorporate those same red and black flashes.
Ah, so those flashes are the consistent visual link across the ranks then.
Pretty much. And in their dress uniform, everyone in the RAFP wears a red and black brassard on the left arm, again, echoing those flashes.
Right.
Even in tactical dress, they're identifiable by the red MP badges, the international symbol for military police. It's quite a clear visual language.
Consistent, yeah. And the sources even give us some historical snapshots.
Yeah, there's a description from around 1943-45. Two RAFE corporals, Brian Nash and Harry Petters, controlling traffic in Normandy. Really grounds their history.
Makes it tangible, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a more recent image.
From 2011. Shows an RAF police member with that distinctive armband and the white cap still going strong. Connects the history to modern times.
Okay, so we see how they look the part. But what exactly is their core function? What do they do beyond, general policing on RAF bases?
Well, their responsibilities are actually quite wide-ranging. The primary role, yes, is policing and security for all service personnel.
Not just RAF.
No, not just RAF. Also Royal Navy and British Army personnel when circumstances dictate. But their mandate extends into more specialized areas, too.
Yeah.
They provide policing, counterintelligence, and special security support specifically tailored to the needs of the RAF.
That specialist aspect seems key.
Yeah.
The list of duties is, well, pretty substantial.
It is.
We're talking frontline response, law enforcement, all kinds of criminal and security investigations. Although, hang on, the sources clarify something here.
Ah, yes, the Defense Serious Crime Unit.
Right. Since late 2022, they handle the serious and complex criminal investigations now. So the RAFP deal with the initial stages, maybe less complex stuff.
That seems to be the distinction, yes. The RAFP still manage a broad spectrum of other vital tasks. Aircraft protection, security,
Uh-huh.
conducting covert operations, counterintelligence work, even cyber and information security threats.
Oh.
Plus, they manage the military working dog program, provide force protection on deployments, and handle close protection for VIPs. It's a very diverse portfolio.
It really paints a picture of a highly adaptable force. And it's interesting that they also have security investigators dealing with non-criminal conduct offenses that still pose a security risk.
Yeah, that's quite unique compared to civilian policing, isn't it?
It is.
It highlights the specific security challenges within a military environment, where certain behaviors, even if not strictly criminal, can have significant repercussions.
Right.
Now, underpinning all of this is a strong ethical foundation, clearly laid out in their oath.
Yes, and the full text of that oath is quite telling. It emphasizes duty to the king, obviously, but also strongly underscores fairness, integrity, diligence, impartiality.
Key principles.
Very key. There's a clear commitment to upholding human rights, treating everyone equally, upholding service law, and, crucially, conducting investigations independently and impartially. Sets a high bar.
It really emphasizes the importance of trust and accountability, especially within a military structure where their authority is, significant.
Definitely. So we have a good sense of their roles, the principles guiding them. How are they actually organized? Who's in charge?
Okay. Organization. Their central HQ is at RAF Honington. Leading the whole thing is the Provost Marshal, RAF,
Okay.
who holds the rank of Group Captain. And importantly, this person is also the commander of the Air Security Force. Shows the scope of leadership.
Air Security Force, right.
Oh.
And how does it break down from there?
They're structured into what the sources call capability wings. These operate both in the UK and overseas, all under the Air Security Force Command.
Got it.
Then at individual RAF stations, you'll often find detachments known as flights. Typically commanded by a flying officer or flight lieutenant with a senior NCO like a flight sergeant or sergeant providing that crucial support.
And these flights report upwards.
Yes, to RAF police squadrons. These are based at the larger RAF stations and are overseen by the Deputy Provost Marshal, who's a wing commander.
Okay, that makes sense. But here's a really key point the sources emphasize.
The command structure thing.
Exactly. RAF police personnel do not fall under the direct command of the local station's commanding officer.
That's a critical distinction, isn't it?
It seems vital.
Their command line goes directly up to the Provost Marshal, RAF. Their authority isn't granted by the local base CO. It comes directly from the Armed Forces Act 2006.
Right, the legal basis.
Which allows them to issue lawful commands to any service person, regardless of rank. It really highlights their independent authority, their ability to operate impartially.
Yeah, that independence seems absolutely vital for maintaining objectivity, ensuring they can do their job without, undue influence from the local chain of command. Now, beyond these core policing functions, the RAFP also possess some, fascinating and highly specialized capabilities.
They certainly do. For example, the Counterintelligence Operations Squadron. They investigate security breaches, gather intelligence.
Okay.
The sources actually draw a parallel here with the roles of the Intelligence Corps and parts of the Royal Signals in the Army, puts them in that broader military intelligence landscape.
Interesting comparison. And in today's world, IT security must be huge.
It is. It's listed as another crucial specialization within their protective security work. Plus, the number seconded to Strategic Command is substantial.
How many?
Over 400 personnel. Involved in counterintel and protective security for UK and overseas ops. But interestingly, in those roles, they don't maintain a law enforcement capability.
Purely intel and security then.
Seems so. And we can't overlook their unique expertise with police dogs.
Right. The only branch of UK military service police to manage dogs.
That's what the sources say. They oversee all RAF military working dogs with detachments at various stations. These dogs and handlers provide essential support overseas Iraq, Afghanistan mentioned specifically in patrol and specialist search roles.
That's a really distinctive capability within the UK military police structure.
It is. And then there's the very high-stakes area of close protection.
VAP security.
Exactly. Specially trained RAFP members providing security for VIPs and dignitaries, often in potentially dangerous environments.
So their involvement in recent operations must really highlight these diverse skills in action.
Definitely. For instance, the RAF police played a vital role providing security for Camp Bastion in Afghanistan, part of the RAF's Force Protection Wing.
And it went beyond just base security.
Oh, yeah. They provided crucial external support to frontline troops there, participating in fighting patrols, handling detainees, even deploying specialist weapon intelligence teams.
That's frontline work.
It is. And the sources also poignantly mention the loss of Corporal Brent McCarthy, an RAF policeman based at Breeze Norton, tragically died in Helmand in 2012, a reminder of the risks.
Absolutely. A sobering reminder.
Their participation in things like Exercise Mobility Guardian in 2017 also shows them working seamlessly with wider military forces.
Right. Interoperability.
And then Operation Pitting. August 2021, that was a massive undertaking.
The Kabul evacuation.
Exactly. Alongside 16 Air Assault Brigade, they were instrumental in screening and securing roughly 122,000 people during that evacuation. The scale, the complexity, it's remarkable.
It truly showcases their capacity, doesn't it? Rapid deployment, handling incredibly complex, high-pressure scenarios.
History and training really come into play there.
Yeah. Now, an organization like this, with these responsibilities, needs rigorous training. What do we know about how they develop this expertise?
Well, initial basic training for all RAF ground trades starts at RAF Halton, 10 weeks.
Standard entry.
But for potential RAF police recruits, their specialized training happens at the Defense School of Policing and Security at Southwick Park.
DCPS, right?
And interestingly, they train alongside their counterparts from the Royal Navy Police and the Royal Military Police.
Oh, joint service training from the start.
Suggests a degree of shared foundational knowledge, common standards across the services, yeah.
That seems valuable. Fosters interoperability, shared practices, and the training continues beyond that initial phase.
Oh, definitely. For those moving into more specialized roles, serious crime, security investigations, they get extensive post-graduation training from Home Office police forces and other specialist providers.
So tapping into civilian expertise, too.
Exactly. The sources point out that specialist RAFP personnel get training comparable to Home Office police in detective work, covert ops, that sort of thing. Ensures they have the skills for complex cases.
Makes sense.
We even get a quick history of their training locations. Started in the 50s at RAF Netheravon, then Debden, Newton, Halton, before finally consolidating at Southwick Park in 2004. Shows how their training setup has evolved.
It's fascinating seeing that progression. And speaking of evolution, the sources also detail some significant organizational reforms recently.
Yes, quite a bit happening. There was a reform program in 2021-2022 aiming to better align their wing HQs with RAF groups and squadrons with specific operational forces, more tailored support.
Okay.
Then, in 2022, HQ AIR implemented a broader change program. That led to the amalgamation of all the Single Service Special Investigation Branches, the SIBs.
Into the Defense Serious Crime Unit we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. The RAF SIB capability got transferred into that central unit.
And there was a change at the top levels, too.
Yeah, the one-star Air Officer for Force Protection role was re-rolled into Air Officer Global Enablement in November 2022, which resulted in the disbandment of the Force Protection Force itself.
Sounds like a major shift in structure and priorities.
It was a substantial reorganization, yeah. So now the Provost Marshal, RAF, commands the RAF Police, the RAF Regiment's police and security elements, the MPGS and associated civilians under this new umbrella, the Air Security Force, or ASF.
ASF. Got it. And the Provost Marshal is Commander ASF.
That's the title. And the old structure of sort of geographically based squadrons, that's gone.
Replaced with
a more capability-focused model. 3 police and security wings and 9 squadrons designed to support specific RAF forces and groups.
Like?
Well, everything from Typhoon and Ice Star forces to training units, even space operations support. It seems much more aligned with the specific needs of different RAF operational areas now.
It definitely sounds like a strategic move towards a more integrated, maybe more adaptable structure for modern challenges.
Seems that way. Reflects the evolving security landscape the RAF operates in.
And finally, a crucial aspect for any policing body: oversight and accountability. What do we know there?
Well, importantly, the RAF police are subject to inspection by His Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary.
The HMIC, same as civilian police forces.
Exactly, same oversight body, which ensures they're adhering to recognized policing standards and provides that clear mechanism for accountability.
That external scrutiny is vital, isn't it?
Yeah.
It reinforces their commitment to operating transparently, following best practices.
Couldn't agree more.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we've really uncovered, well, the breadth and depth of the Royal Air Force Police.
Quite a journey.
From their long history interwoven with the RAF itself to their critical roles in policing, security, counter-intel, their distinctive snowdrop identity,
Mm.
the strong ethics in their oath, that independent command structure, the diverse specialist capabilities, those police dogs, their involvement in major recent ops.
Afghanistan, uphitting.
Right, and their ongoing organizational adaptations. It's clear they're a far more multifaceted and, frankly, essential organization than perhaps many people realize.
Indeed. And it leaves us with a pretty significant question for you, the listener, to consider. Well, given the sheer scope of responsibility, their frequent global deployments, how does the role of military police like the RAFP fundamentally differ from civilian law enforcement? In terms of their operational scope, the unique challenges they face maintaining security and justice within a military context.
Yeah.
What unique pressures, what ethical considerations might come up when you're operating within armed forces engaged in conflict or on international deployments? It's a complex, crucial intersection of military duties and policing responsibilities. Something to think about.